Let me scoot back.
Exactly. Oh, let's readjust here. What's up, Cameron? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Doing great.
Good. I'm good too. I mean, yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah. Oh, wait. It's not on. Got to readjust for this live. There we go. All right, we're going to do this. I think people are still coming in. They're commenting. They say, oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. What? Oh.
I don't know. I think they see something they like.
Oh, look, Don Davis. Executive producer, showrunner of Boomerang on BET.
All right, so as people come on in, we can go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everybody right now to Blackcinemanow. My name is Travaris Carnell, aka TC. You can just call me TC. That's what my friends call me. And we're here with Cameron J. Ross, producer, director, actor. You have so many things under your name. Go ahead and tell us about yourself. Let's get right to it.
Well, it's always weird like talking about yourself, but I guess like this is what I got to do today. Yeah, my name is Cameron J. Ross. I am a writer, a producer, and an actor from Houston, Texas. I currently live in Los Angeles, and I'm excited to share more about myself and have like a casual conversation. I think you and I should just like kick it and make it super casual. I think that'll be the best way for people to relate to it. And yeah, that's it.
That's it. What should people know about you? What do you like? What drives your creativity? What got you into being a creative?
I will say, I think I started off being like a singer and an actor. I grew up in like singing in church. So that was probably my first introduction to like any performance art at all. And I, you know, I've been an artist, I would say, for a very long time. I think my younger brother probably would attest to that. I think I've been a storyteller for a very long time too. It was the way I used to play with action figures. It wasn't something that I like how normal boys like play with action figures, you know, they just like bam against each other. It was something that I would always use as like a form of storytelling and performance. Like I would set up shows and stuff for my family when I was like a kid. But then that turned into actually being serious about it. And I don't think I got really serious about being an artist until maybe high school. I went to a performance high school called the High School for the Performing Visual Arts. Beyonce also went there. Some other amazing people went there. H-Town is amazing. And I think that's when I actually decided like, yo, I want to make this a career. I want to get serious about it. I went to school to study for it. I started to work as an actor. I started to work as a producer and a writer in a corporate way. And then it kind of brought me into this world that I'm living in now, which is like a full-time artist. And that's like a huge blessing. For anybody who knows what it takes to be an artist, huge blessing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. So you have a film right now on Amazon Prime called They Come, They Go. You know, take us through the process. Why did you write this particular film?
Yo, okay, I have to talk about like the origin of the film and like where it came from.
Okay.
I think that it was based on my best friend Keith, who was also an executive producer on the film. We were sitting down talking about just relationships and how millennials, how we approach dating. And we were very drunk when we were having this conversation. So I think a lot of my creativity comes when I am like intoxicated. But, you know, it was just basically shooting the shit with my friend. And at the time, we were both kind of like in this weird space with our careers. We were trying to figure out, let's do something else. You know what I mean? Let's do something that is, don't wait and create an opportunity for each other. And we had this idea. So I just wrote this like fake ass like title page on Final Draft, and I put it on my Instagram, and it was like, They Come, They Go, a story based on our 20s. And my friend Keith was like, yeah, put that up and see what people say. So I just put it up as just like a post. It was not an actual project or anything. Like all these people started writing, and they were like, yo, this is dope. Like, what is this? I want to see this. Can I audition for this? And I'm just like, yo, this isn't actually something. But then it became an idea like, oh, why do we like actually do this? Yeah. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, but you know, it just started from the ground up. And then we kind of like engulfed ourselves in the world of indie filmmaking.
Yeah, it's definitely great that you put yourself out there. You didn't allow fear to really guide you, just put yourself out there, and what happened happened, and it was actually a great film. Tell me how you felt when it reached Amazon, being on a major platform.
You know, I would say like Keith and I just put that out basically to start a conversation. We didn't like have any dreams for it being like this big, huge, like to be celebrated as this masterpiece, or even live on a digital platform like Amazon. It was just something we wanted to start a conversation, and it just was like, let's work with like-minded artists and create something dope. And it wasn't until our agent was like, yo, what are we gonna do with this? And I've done a short film a few years ago. Well, I kind of did the indie circuit, the film festival circuit, I should say. And that was cool, you know what I mean? And all these film festivals are amazing, but I feel like, you know, short films are like an introduction. It's like a business card. It's like, yo, look what I can do. If I had more money, if I had like just a production company behind me, I could create this huge thing. And so I was like, I don't know if I really want to do an indie circuit again with a short film. I was like, yo, this is like, let's just put this out there. Let's put it on social and just see what's up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until our agent was like, okay, now it's on social, it's doing well. This is actually really beautiful. Let's get it to some type of digital platform to where it can reach a larger market. And she kind of, Davina Heflin, she's in here too. She's amazing. She was basically like, yeah. And we were like, oh shit, yeah, let's do that. And so we end up getting a distribution through Amazon. And that was just like, at that point, it was just crazy. The fact that like my mother and my family back home could like sit in the comfort of their own homes and watch it. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. So let's talk about the short film. It's a film about Black love from the beginning stages of courting to going full term to eventually a breakup. And one thing about the film, I watched the film even before, you know, I was introduced to you. And one thing that stuck out to me, this film is only 12 minutes. I know it's a short film, but I kind of related to it almost like a regular relationship. It was quick. It was so quick. Do you think there's any symbolism in that it relates to today's culture of dating?
In it being so short?
Yeah.
Well, it is a short film, which means that we had a short budget, which we had short money. But with that, it was important to make sure that we captured something within a short time, because that's what I feel like our relationships usually are. It's usually like very like, it takes, you know, you fall in love, you meet this person, you fall in love, and then it seems like it'll last a lifetime, and it ends up ending within like maybe weeks. And so it began to be like, oh, this is actually very, very close to how these relationships actually turn out to be. So I would say it's symbolic, but then again, it is a short, but it kind of is like a happy accident. It like worked out that way. And yeah.
Yeah, okay. So again, they come, they go on Amazon Prime. If you haven't seen it, guys, go check it out. It's a great piece of film. I love it because it's in black and white.
Yeah.
It talks about Black love. It really hits home, man. And if you've ever been in love, like, you can relate to it. If you have ever had a breakup or had that high of getting to know somebody, it really relates to you. It's a great piece of work, and congratulations to you for having it on Amazon. And I really want everybody to go check it out.
All right, I appreciate that. And I just want to say one more thing too.
Yeah.
It's a testament to all the passion that was put behind the project. I mean, like, it started with me and Keith. And then we kind of introduced the project to everybody. Because I know a lot of people are like, how do you do an indie short? Like, how does it actually work out? And for me, it was one of those things where I was like, I took every single person that was a part of this to either dinner, to coffee, to lunch or something, basically to just like share the vision. And it became a passion project for all involved. So when you're doing like these indie projects and you're doing things that are like, I guess from the ground up, and I'm not a big, huge production company, you know, I'm not this big time filmmaker yet, but it was just one of those ideas where I was like, okay, let me pitch this and see who's about it. And everyone became in love with it. And it became like a love passion project for everybody. So I think that's super important for indie filmmakers who are trying to build something and trying to create something, to produce something. Make sure that like your heart's in it and everybody attached has to be in it. I'm talking about, it was from our actors all the way down to our PAs, our wonderful DPs. Everybody was like fully engulfed in this. And it was like something that everybody wanted to say. So I think that's what makes it relatable and successful. Not just me, but everybody that was a part of it was like down for it, you know. And that's what makes it dope, I think.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you this question. So, as a creative, what would you say to people, to those who are just getting in the business? Just something quick. What advice would you give them at the beginning of that road?
Along with always doing your research and studying and practicing the craft, whatever, you know what I mean, whatever lane that is for you, I think it's important to make sure that you're saying something. For me, as a writer, as a producer, and as an actor, I always kind of want to be a part of something that is like shifting the narrative or introducing something to somebody. So I would say, as long as you have something that resonates and is coming from a place of truth, then you have something. You know what I mean? And I think you should start there. Before, you know, people are always like, how do I get the money? How do I get the representation? How do I get the eyes? It's kind of like, make sure that the story is something that is worth someone to watch, someone to read, someone to want to be a part of first. And find an inspiration for that first. And then, you know what I mean? And that takes time. There's a lot of people who didn't break into the industry till years later, but you know what I mean? A proud artist is someone who's proud of their work. And I think you're proud of it when, you know, you put your heart and soul into it and it happens, it blooms. I think that's the biggest amount of success.
Cool. You're getting a lot of hand claps and praise emojis and truths. So definitely good advice. All right, so moving from one platform, Amazon Prime, to another, BET, a major network that we all grew up on.
Yeah.
Black entertainment television. Boomerang. One of the hottest shows right now that's out on BET. I watch it. I love it. What's your experience on being with Boomerang?
So what do you want me to start? Like from the beginning or like?
I mean, okay, so Boomerang, if people don't know, it's it's produced by Lena Waits, Halle Berry, and Ben Corey Jones. Like these phenomenal people that we kind of really never heard of besides Halle Berry. But Lena Waits, I think, is awesome. Her craft is amazing. Meeting her and getting casted on this particular sitcom or storyline, you know, what's your experience?
Well, first I have to give a shout out to Lina, who is absolutely amazing, but I also have to get a shout out to the co-executive producer and showrunner of the show, Dime Davis, because she is absolutely, I mean, everyone who works on that show knows how much of a leader she is on that piece. And Halle Berry, who is Halle Berry, she's an executive producer, and we give her flowers as much as we can. But this is actually a testimony, actually, how I was part of that project. It's just like when preparation meets opportunity. Yes. I was, at the time, I was working on Let Come Let Go, and we had a screening at Soho House on this particular day. And my Dime, she emailed me, she was like, hey, do you want to come by and see, come by to a reading. We're doing like a table read for season 2 of Boomerang for like some of the executive producers, and you want to come by? And in my head, I was thinking like, oh, she's inviting me just to watch because like I'm gonna be there just to support her, and I would like drop everything to support her. Like I'm chill about that. And she was like, no, I want you to read. I want you to read some roles because there's some roles we haven't cast yet. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And at the time, I hadn't picked up a script, dude, like in a long time. Like I haven't read anything. So I'm like, okay. I showed up. And, you know, I was a little nervous, but at the time I was nervous about that, but I was also nervous about showing my baby, which was They Come, They Go, to an audience for the first time later that night. So my editor, Naphtali, he was living out he lives out in Toronto, and he was like, yo, Cam, we might not have the film ready in time for the night. I'll let you know. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm thinking like, what do you mean we'll have the film? So he texted me that probably 5 minutes of me walking into this table read. And I wasn't really, you know, available for, I was available, but I was just like, I wasn't really super present in the moment. And I had to tell myself like, yo, breathe, read this, do a good job, and bounce. You know what I mean? And Lena came in, she sat next to me, and she was like, oh, you in here? I'm excited, you know, because I had met her before. And I read the role. I read actually like 3 roles, but the role that I ended up being cast in, I remember when I was reading it, it felt, you know what I mean? I felt something. I was just like, oh shit, whatever, you know, but I was like, this feels like something. I got in my car and left. Went downtown to the Soho House for the premiere. They Come, They Go. Ended up working. Dime ended up coming to support me. She came to the screening. She loved it. We ended up talking the next day, and she was like, yo, I'm so proud of you. You did such a good job. And I was like, thank you so much. And it meant a lot for me to hear her say that. And she was like, yo, but how do you feel about joining the cast of Boomerang? And I was like, bitch, what? Like in my head, I was like, right. well, what are you saying? And she was like, no, everyone is about it. Everyone loved your read, and it would be great if you joined the cast. And she was like, but this is fucking Hollywood, so you have to kind of go through all the, like, check all the boxes. So you got to go on for casting, you got to get cleared by this, do all this stuff. And I was like, okay. So it had been so long before I was like auditioning as an actor. Went in, auditioned, met with casting. Probably like 2 weeks later, I was flying to Atlanta. I got the job, and I was flying out to Atlanta to shoot and do fucking Boomerang, which was like a career highlight for me for sure. Like, it was just incredible.
Yeah. So did you watch the show in season 1? You know, you were a fan of it?
Yeah, I was a fan of the show. I actually went to the premiere of season 1. In there, drinking at the open bar, not having no idea that I would ever be a part of the show, having a good time. You know, celebrating Dime and like super, you know, super supportive and excited to be there. Had no idea. And so I did watch the show. And it wasn't until I had to watch the season again before I went out there, because I was like watching the show just as a fan, but then I had to watch it like, yo, let me see what's going on with these characters, and you know, how are they introducing this dude that I'm playing? And yeah, so I was always a fan. They do great work there.
Yeah, absolutely. So okay, so let's talk about your character, Dre. You play alongside Leland B. Martin. He plays Artie.
Yeah.
And you're introduced to him to kind of point out his toxic masculinity. How was it playing alongside him? And have you ever experienced anyone's toxic masculinity that you needed to address?
Well, I mean, you gave me like 5 questions. That's pretty loaded. First, it was a joy working with Leland B. Martin. He is actually one of the coolest dudes. We had so much time to get to know each other. Actually, I'm lying. We didn't have so much time. We had about a day to get to know each other before we started shooting with each other. But us, you know, he's a really, really cool laid-back dude. He's extremely like about the work, which is all like something like I'm the same way. And we agreed that we knew what kind of shoes we were stepping in, telling this story on this network. And we felt super safe, which is important, because we felt safe from the producers and our director, Dime, who made us feel like it was important. So, you know, we end up having like a bit of a bond. We bonded over that. We bonded on being like vessels for this like story. And that was like super, super cool. So, you know, dealing with toxic masculinity is something that I've always had to deal with. You know, I'm a Black boy from the South. You know what I mean? So in order to be considered strong, considered tough, it was basically, you know, based on the register of your voice, how built you were, who you affiliate yourself with. And I struggled with that as a kid for many years, and I had to find out like who I was as a man. You know, my father was always very instilling like the right things to raise me to be a man, I should say. But toxic masculinity it's alive and well around me, even to this day. I've experienced it, and I have put it on people for sure. But it was important to deal with my own shit before I stepped into the role. And it was important to understand the representation that was being called for. I text Dime actually the day that I first saw the first episode, and I said, yo, like, I never, you know, growing up, I was always looking for representation for me on TV. And I grew up BET. BET was everything for me. I'm talking about Cedars World, Hit from the Street, like 106 Park, running home to watch. It was always important to me. But what was also important that was kind of missing growing up is seeing something that looked like me going through things that I might go through. And it was super, super special to have that conversation on that platform like BET. You know what I mean? It's legendary. It's a big moment. And it was important to be a part of that in that way.
Cool. Mm-hmm. All right, so Dre, being on BET and playing this character Dre, being a black gay character on a major network. How did you feel about playing this particular role on BET?
I was nervous. I think initially I was very, very nervous. Because not only is he a black gay character, but he's having black gay sex on TV. Yeah. And that's like, not just TV, but on BET. You know, this isn't like Insecure or some show on Stars. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, you know, reading the script, I was like, oh shit, okay, we're going there. I was very nervous, you know what I mean? And it was the first time that it was my debut on television to be like stepping in such big shoes. But I will honestly say I prayed a lot, to be honest. I would sit in my trailer and pray and be like, you know what I mean? Thank you, God, for the opportunity. I will always thank God for the opportunity because I knew he wouldn't give me anything if I wasn't ready for it. He wouldn't give me anything that would just totally strip me of my integrity or anything like that. And I feel like I was raised properly to understand when something is for me and when it's not. And then also our director, you know what I mean? I'm shutting down a lot, but she was a huge part of this for both of us. She was very, very nurturing on that set. And the set alone, like Boomerang set is very, it's like a very loving set. It's very Black, which for me is love. You know, I walk around, I see my people working. You know, I got my people cutting my hair, doing my makeup and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, this is, okay, I'm cool. I'm chill here. This is great. And yeah, I think the nerves kind of went away eventually. And, you know, of course you have those ideas like, what are people going to say? What are people going to think? You know, but after a while, you know, it just became an idea of like, fuck it. You know, this is important. This is important. This has got to be said. And everyone who's ever done something that was super legendary like this had to kind of like push through something. And I felt empowered. It was empowering to do it.
Yeah. Someone commented, you brought representation to the Dre's and the Arties of the world.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people like would hit me up. I didn't prepare for this kind of stuff, but I still get a lot of DMs and people be like, either like on Artie's side, like, yo, you know, Artie is me and you're helping me understand some things. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad Dre and Boomerang is helping you understand stuff. And there are people, you know, DM me like, oh, I really relate and connect with this. I'm excited to see this kind of story being told on BET. And that's also a testament to the wonderful writers too. Ladarian Smith, who wrote the episode, is absolutely amazing. And he was someone who was representing this in the writer's room, which was amazing, you know, so.
Yeah, it definitely, it's definitely a beautiful piece of art. And, you know, art imitates reality. And I want to do mention that most of the directors for each episode were directed by women.
Yeah.
Black, which I think is pretty cool. Black women. I think that's really, really pretty cool. All right. Anything else you want to tell us about your experience with BET as a whole and being a part of the BET family?
No. That's even crazy to hear you say like being a part of the BET family, because BET was what about you? I mean, like BET was everything for me growing up. Like you know, it was representation of like Black pop culture to like the 100 level. So to say that I'm a part of the BET family is just like, I don't know, that's a huge, huge, huge honor. Yeah, like, I mean, that experience was amazing. I hope that work and that show continues to have legs. I hope that I can be a part of it in some way to keep helping tell that story, because what they're doing there is really great. You know what I mean? And they have really great people doing really great work. And as long as they have the opportunity and the platform to do it, they'll continue to inspire and change. You know what I mean? I know some little Black boys like, yo, wow, this is like possible for me to just like be, you know, after saying that. Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna throw a curveball. Talking about Black shows right now.
Okay.
Last night, the finale of How to Get Away with Murder. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't. Let me tell you something. How to Get Away with Murder. It's amazing. I know it's an amazing show. Viola Davis is she's so incredible. But honestly, I'm gonna just keep it real. I was gonna be like, yeah, but then I'm like, no, I didn't watch it because I feel like you're gonna ask me a question that was so specific, and I'd be like, I didn't watch it, man. But I'm sure it was great. I mean, I know.
All right. Sorry. Hey guys, everybody that's watching, make sure you ask questions. What do you want to ask Cameron? Let's see what people are saying. Proud that BET is going back to its roots. Definitely. It's definitely great to have shows that we all can relate to. I'm in my late 30s, almost 40. I hate to say that. So for these type of shows to be on right now, it's really good, and to be on BET, because you know we have MTV, although they're owned by the same people. We need our representation at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful that BET is giving us an opportunity to tell our story in any shape, form, or fashion that we want to. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. You know, as an artist, that's amazing what BET is doing over there. They have really great content, and you know, they are really giving great artists opportunities to do great content. So cool.
All right. Somebody asked the question: what resources did you use when you started writing?
Life. It started there. It started, you know, for me to pick up. I would say a pen, but I mean, it's very rare that I write with a pen. I'm usually writing in the notes app on my phone, but it has to. I have to be, you know, influenced or inspired by something that I experienced in life. I think that's the first tool. Resources, as far as like, you know, people always ask me about how do you get money. Is that what they're asking? Like, how do you get money to do a piece,
I
or
think
just like?
I guess I would say, because I'm a creative, I'm a graphic designer, so I kind of know how.
You're actually a really good graphic designer. I saw some of your work before I started. Pretty good. Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
That's good.
So as a creative, how do you find your niche? How do you really birth your gift? Me as a creative, I can't say that there is. I can't tell people how to birth your gift. I think it naturally comes out.
Yeah.
I think once you start, one, loving yourself more, and you really want to be a better person, and you start listening to your desires, and you start going after your heart, and your heart aligns with your desires, and you start doing things that you want to do in the long run. You know, no job will make you happy, but what you do in life and really going after your passion ultimately makes you happy.
Yeah. Getting to happy is super important.
Yes.
I would say I'm most inspired when I'm happy, but which I think we'll talk about the quarantine and like what this experience has done to me.
Yeah, feel free to go into it. Like, we've all had downtime right now to really, if people haven't, like, we've had enough time to really reevaluate life, look at self, say, okay, I got all this time, all this free time in the world. What can I be doing? And yeah, so speak on that. How was it for you being quarantined?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, my creativity doesn't work based off time. I think, you know, people are like, oh, yo, you got all this time. Where's that? And it's just like, it's not time that I need to be creative. You know, during this time, I've been taking this time to go inward. And that means a lot of just kind of like, I would say, emotional and like mental and spiritual health, like taking care of myself in that way. And I'm super excited to see where this takes me as a creative post quarantine. I think this is the first time I have the time to really figure out how to make Cameron whole. You know what I mean? How to like go in and rebuild myself, because I give a lot to this. I give a lot to this work. I give a lot to this industry. And when I first started this quarantine, like, it goes in chapters for me. Like, you know, chapter one was like, oh shit, this is gonna be over soon, like whatever. Because I was flying out from, we had a screening that they come and go in Toronto, me and my friend Juan, and then we came out here, and it was like, oh, this will be over. And then, you know, week two was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just eat whatever I've ever wanted, just sound and like chill. And then it went to like, oh, okay, well, let me start working out again. Let me like figure out what my health is. And I was like on this like, you know, this, you know, fitness like crunch or whatever. And then I went to this like depressed mode, to be totally honest with you, kind of thinking about what is life gonna be after this? You know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna do? What is it even gonna look like for me? Yeah. And so then that kind of spiraled into what its life looked like for me for the past 31 years, you know what I mean? And how did I find happiness in those like quiet, still moments then? And then I start to go and develop these ideas and in conversations with one of my best girlfriends, Shire. We actually been quarantined together. And we've been kind of doing therapy for each other, oddly enough. You know, just talking to your best friend is always like therapy. And I'm excited to see where this takes me as an actor, as a writer, as a producer, kind of like dealing with my own shit, dealing with my own truth, you know. And I'm excited for like after this, you know.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, have I been drafting and creating this masterpiece? I have ideas here and there, but it's very, like I'm not just like going away at something. Like I'm really trying to work on myself. So
yeah, definitely. Someone wants to know, will you be doing anything with music anytime soon?
I love music. I'm a huge music head. Like I would love to direct a music video. I would love to, I actually have a super, super fun fact. Like I think in my like late 60s, I would love to go into a studio and record like a jazz album. I haven't sang really in years, but it's just like one of those things like, remember how Queen Latifah came out with like that like jazz album? I remember being like so excited for her. Just had to get that out.
The Owens album.
Yeah, and I was just like, I feel like she had to get that out. And she was like, yo, like Tisha Campbell. I feel like she's another artist who's like, yo, I got this song inside of me. I need to get this out. I'm still here. Like that kind of stuff. Like she really, figure that out. That's something I would want to do probably in my 60s. I see myself doing that. But other than that, like I think that's where music and I fall in love and then, split apart.
Nice. Let's see what else people are asking. Let's see. Make sure you drop your questions. I'm gonna go to the question option here. All right, this one. What's the craziest behind the scenes moment you've had with a cast member?
I didn't have super crazy moments behind the scenes. I'm trying to think of because I started in theater, so I'm thinking like, I guess the most relatable right now is Boomerang. Something that Lena and I would do in between takes is we do push-ups, like on the side, and like really try to make sure that we look like puffed up. And I snuck to the side to like like offset and went to the restroom. I was like, can I go to the restroom? But secretly, I was like doing push-ups in the bathroom. And when I opened the door to come out, the director, Don Davis, was right there. She was like, what have you been doing? Because I was like, of course, out of breath. And she was like, you doing your push-ups again? And I was like, yeah, that's kind of embarrassing. So I think that's the only thing that's embarrassing. But we both were like, because we knew that we were going to be like shirtless on BT. And they were like bronzing our bodies and all them down. So, a nigga wanted to look good. So we just tried to figure out how to make that work. Yeah.
You definitely got to get the push-ups in. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. I'm big on zodiacs. And yeah. How did the Virgo in you deal with not being in control on set?
Super, super control freak, me, period. But I was just so humbled to be there. You know what I mean? I was just so just filled with gratitude. So, and I took it as an opportunity when I wasn't working. I would stick around. I remember asking the showrunner, can I stick around for another scene, just sit in Video Village and just watch. And I remember that was really, really cool for me. So I was just so excited and humbled to be there. Never in my mind was I ever like, oh, how could I do this? Or how could I, what would I do in this situation? I was just super, super chill and kind of an open vessel, ready to learn. So no control, but I get it. Virgos, we're super controlling. My set's really control. But yeah.
Virgos. I'm a Libra, so yeah. You
right after, yeah.
You Virgos, I tell you.
I see quite a few questions that people are writing in, but see, Lorraine is in here with questions, yeah.
Let's see. There's one. Talk about your influences from the women in your life. I think it's a pretty good question.
Yeah, my mother. I'm a mama's boy through and through. My mother's an artist. My mother's a teacher, and super inspired by her. I would say her determination and her how much she gives to her job as a dance teacher. I'm super inspired by. I have a lot of women in my life. I have a lot of good girlfriends. I can name them. Most of them are in here right now. And they know who they are, but they inspire me too. That's why I love Black women. Black women have loved on me. Since the day I was born, you know what I mean? But they have really, I would say a lot of Black women have poured into me to make me who I am today, the man I am today, the Black man I am today. I have a lot of thanks for these beautiful women who always love on me. So I'm always inspired by their resilience, by their determination to and just like how, and I always make sure that I treat them so delicately, you know, because I feel like sometimes Black women are expected to be so tough and can take everything. But I always make sure that I love on them and treat them with the love that I feel like pouring to me. So shout out to all my Black women and the Black women in my life and just around the world.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Drop your question, guys. Let's ask some more questions. Want to wrap it up? I think it's pretty good. We've kind of went through all of the questions.
Yeah. All right. Cool. If you feel that we did.
Cool. People are feeling the jazz album. People are feeling what you've talked about, how to break into the industry.
They're gonna really buy it. They're gonna really buy that jazz album. They're really saying that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Thank you. Just support. I didn't see nobody saying they're gonna buy that album, but okay.
It's definitely great to have support from your fans. Like you've reached so many households, so just know that you are being seen, and people follow you. People follow. They come. They go. Which people, if you haven't watched, again, go watch it on Amazon Prime. Make sure you go watch it. It's a great piece. Any self-love, confidence tips?
Yeah, self-love and confidence is something I work on every day. You know what I mean? I don't think I have like the answer or like the best. This is how you're supposed to love yourself. But I think a lot of my self-love comes through prayer. I feel like God has shown me numerous ways that I'm special. Then what I have to offer this world is important. I think about it. I think about the ways He's demonstrated that to me and made that visible for me. And that's enough for me to love myself, how much He loves me, obviously. You know what I mean? Yes. So I think my relationship with God, it always provides me with enough to love myself, because I'm truly blessed, man. I'm beyond blessed and highly favored. Shout out to the Clock Sisters. But yeah, like that is enough for me to be like, if He feels I should walk, like He gave me the opportunity to walk through that.
Yeah. My I guess you say mantra, or the thing I live by, is just know that you are uniquely made. God made you as one. You have your name, you have your DNA. You know, just know that you are uniquely made, and love yourself more. Love who you are. Love your imperfections. Love your highs, your lows. Love the things that you've been through. It all makes who you are, and just continue to love yourself. So I really I resonate with the self-love and the spiritual journey. I'm on it. So yeah. All right. Absolutely. So Cameron, anything else you want to tell the people? What's next for you? Let's go there.
Well, I do want to answer some of the questions. I see people kind of saying like we have questions, and I don't feel like I've answered them, but I don't know.
I mean, we can keep going if you want to keep going.
Oh, I'm gonna answer. Yeah, I'm here. I mean, I'm in fucking quarantine. There's not much more after this, but
I'm trying to make sure I see everything. Somebody said, hello. I would love to hear you sing.
Yeah, not gonna happen tonight. But next question.
Let's see. Someone asked, in many ways, They Come, They Go. It's a silent film. How was your experience directing performances without dialogue?
That was always the goal. You know, it's like a nod to, early 1930s, 1940s, or 1920s, I should say, silent films where Black love wasn't a thing. And I wanted to kind of like make this be a part of the narrative. So it was always something I wanted to show with emotions and not words. And I think that makes you feel something a bit more. The black and white does that, but also the fact that it's silent.
Yeah. What do you like to do with your free time when you're not acting, when you're not directing and producing these films?
I like to be incredible at taboo. I like to cook. I'm actually like a really great cook. I like to cook for my friends and my loved ones. What else I like to do? I mean, I feel like I like to do. I'm an all around like pretty good guy, so like a fun person. So I'm down for a party. I'm down for like something social. I'm down to I also read books. I also I also yeah.
Anything you can recommend right now to our viewers to read?
I Don't Want to Die Poor by Michael Arsenault. He's a good friend of mine. He's a New York Times best motherfucking seller. Buy his book, read his book. It's absolutely incredible. He's also from Houston, H-Town stand up. I Don't Want to Die Poor by Michael Arsenault. I actually just got it. I've started to read it. It's great.
Cool.
Cam, tell people about the haircutting incident on the Boomerang set. I got my hair cut on the set. Actually, that was probably the craziest moment. I actually forgot about it. I got my hair cut by this amazing barber, and I have hair on my chest and my shoulders. So because I was going to be topless, they like shaved me all over my body and they cut my hair. And I end up getting, my skin is very sensitive, and I knew when they were cutting me, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna be red, I'm gonna be bleeding. But I don't want to be like this like diva guy who's like, like super, super emotional about a fucking haircut. So I was like, okay. So he was cutting me. I was like, this hurts. You know what I mean? I kind of remember saying like, I was like, this, you're a little heavy with the, with the razor. And then he was like, oh, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm good. But they cut my mustache off, and I remember I was bleeding here. And so I can tell he was nervous. So I was like, okay, let me be calm, because I don't want this dude to feel like he, fucked up one of the actors. And before I was like, no, it's all good. So I'm holding it like I have a bloody nose. I show up on set, and the director's like, hey, are you ready to rock? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, why are you looking like that? And then they saw the blood here. I had blood all over my back. Like, it was like really, really bad. It became, I don't know, when you're bleeding on a Hollywood set, like, it's a huge thing. When an actor is like down, it's like code red. Like, everyone was coming and making sure that I was okay. But I remember being like, they cut off my mustache. I remember like thinking about that. And then when they cut off my mustache and replaced it with blood, I remember thinking like, see, they probably should have kept the stash, but that was that.
Cool. Oh wow, people are really asking questions. So
what
you have
want to see? Oh, go ahead.
Elle Magazine said you have a platform at this point. How are you handling the immediate influx of people looking to you?
I think it's important. Elle Magazine's here. Wow. No, there's my friend Elle Lorraine. I think it's important to stay genuine with my approach to the industry. My approach to the work is just genuine, because I do realize now that I do have a platform, like, people are watching, like, oh, how does he move, and what's next for him? That's always the biggest question. And I think I'm just trying to stay real and genuine to the work and to myself, because like I said, God has informed me that I am special, that I have something to offer, and just being myself is enough. So yeah.
Do you think? Okay, sorry. Do you think Black love is positively represented enough in today's society?
We're getting there. I think all facets of Black love, there's more to tell. There's more story there. I think we're getting there though. There's so many different narratives being told. I mean, when you have a season where Moonlight wins Best Picture, what a great coming of age love story. And then you have like, beautiful love stories. Like, I mean, there's so many shows that are like kind of having conversations about love. I think we're getting there. And I think that's great to even say, like, yeah, I feel seen. You know what I mean? Just making sure that a lot of Black people feel seen when it comes to love. It took us many years for us to talk about Black love on TV or film.
Right.
We're very blessed as a people to kind of experience that and walk out of these theaters like, yo, I can take a piece of that with me,
Definitely. All right, here's one. The people want to know, are you single? How do you balance dating and working/creating?
The people always want to know. Who are the people? I'm kidding. The people want to know. I am single. I am single in a quarantine, and that's difficult. But we
no quarantine boo.
No quarantine boo. You know what I mean? I will say, during this time, you entertain everything. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's like open possibilities for any boo. But I'm interested to see what that's like once I back in the streets. But no, I am currently single. And how do you balance dating and work? You know, it's going to take a special person to understand how to be in a relationship with me as an artist. Because I watched Becoming yesterday, Michelle Obama documentary on Netflix, and she was talking about how when she met Barack, she didn't want to just be like, I guess basically like a bulb on the tree of Barack Obama. She kind of wanted to be the anchor and help. You know what I mean? And I would have to find someone who understands my work, and I understand theirs, and we're able to be, you know, supportive of each other. That's super important to me. That's the love language. Support my work as an artist, because I'm a fucking sensitive artist. I love you back.
Yeah, definitely. What's new and special? What new and special element are you excited to bring to the industry?
You know, walking into this hyphenate artist thing is super, super cool. You know, to be a out Black male in this industry as a creator is super, 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 I think, needed and important. And I think that's special. You know, not to say it's never been done before, but I think during this time, you know, that representation as a writer, as a producer, and as an actor is important.
All right, let's keep going. So you answered the Clipper incident.
Yeah.
This is a good question. What would you tell your childhood self?
My childhood self. There's life outside of 14319 Bohart Drive, Houston, Texas, 77049. There's life outside of there, and you will be able to experience it and be happy that you made the decisions you made. You know, every time I go home, I don't know if this happens for everybody. Every time I go home to my childhood home, something comes over me, and I feel like it's like my childhood spirit just being like all over me, loving and hugging on me, like, yo, you did that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm so proud of you. And I wish I could tell that younger version, like, yeah, you did that. You know what I mean? You are the person who like created the man I am today. So, yeah. I tell my address, like, my mother, nobody lives there. You know what I mean? But
because people want to know, it's like, that's your address?
No, I don't live in Houston. If you go to my mama's house, you know, we're going to have issues. Me and my brother are definitely going to pull up on that ass, and it will be no problem, but for sure.
Please do not pull up on his people. Good question. What is your dream role?
My dream role is to play Langston Hughes in a biopic. I think I love Langston Hughes. I feel like his story, I mean, there have been versions of his story that have been told, but I just feel like they haven't really delved into the layers of who that man was and what he was for, not just the Renaissance, but for he was with the hope he gave us as Black people through literature, through poetry. Yeah, I think that'll be super important. That's a dream role. Langston is incredible. Yeah.
Cool. I had to take that down. Some people getting mad to say it was blocking your face.
Thank y'all.
Another question is, who do you want to work with? Who is an actor or actress you really want to work with?
There are many like famous actors and actresses that I want to work with, of course. I love Jeffrey Wright. He's always been a huge inspiration to me. Viola Davis is a fucking force. I think she's incredible. But there was something about working on a piece where you had like friends and family on set. Like doing They Come, They Go. Because I was working with my people. At Boomerang, I was working with some of my people. And I know that sometimes people are just like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, working with your friends, you know, that might be, I'm not considered taboo, but I think there's just something about working with people that you grew up knowing that gives you this ultimate boost of inspiration. I so happen to be, you know, connected to a lot of creatives. So I want to continue to work with my day ones and my friends. Not saying they would be the only people I work with, but I do like the element of having someone like that, you know, be a part of it.
People are really showing love in the comments. Someone said it's a special room because we are all here sharing big love for this amazing human in the orange beanie.
This is my brother's beanie. He also kind of, threw some shade at me earlier, but this is my brother's beanie he gave to me. But thank you. I love all these people. Actually, this room is lit. Like, you have some of the most incredible artists of our generation. Like, it's super iconic. I mean, you have a lot of people in here. I don't know if y'all know all these people, but they're incredible.
I did not mean to click on that, but let's go for it. What would you say is missing from today's work? Something that he misses about film?
What I feel like is missing from today's work, I feel like I've been watching a lot of movies and rewatching movies and stuff like that. And I would say there was this element of telling stories that included, I would say Black stories, where there wasn't this super push of us being Black is the story. And it was just more about us in our daily lives, and we just so happen to be Black people. Like, when you watch movies like, I don't know, Love and Basketball, it's not really about her being a Black female basketball player, you know what I mean? Like, going to school. It was about her being a Black girl. I mean, she was a Black girl, and you know what I mean? On my episode of Black Man, but it was just like, it was Black love expressed through a way that was just relatable, and it just was. And it wasn't just super it wasn't commenting on being Black. And I miss that, and I miss, there's so many stories. Like, think about like late 90s, early 2000s, all those movies was just like, it was like we were just kind of inviting people to the table to like.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it froze up a little bit. Maybe my internet. Because the comment stopped also. Gotcha. Yeah, it froze up a second. Yeah,
all right, cool.
Cool. But yeah, definitely seeing representation, not just being Black, but just seeing us, seeing your people.
Yeah, just seeing
somebody
us.
said somebody said above the rim, living single. Like, living single really is a great
living single. I mean, how amazing was that show? Like, it was very rare that it was like, the whole episode was like, I'm a Black attorney. You know what I mean? Maxine Shaw was just hilarious, and she was a very hilarious, funny Black woman. You know what I mean? Regine opened. She was like, working as a sales associate at this store, but it wasn't like, I'm the first Black sales associate. It was just like, I'm fucking Regine. I'm trying to get a man, like, whatever, and I miss that. Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. Somebody had a question about Clark Sisters. Speaking of Clark Sisters, what are your thoughts on their movie?
I love the Clark Sisters movie. Actually, my friend Michael Chen was the executive producer of it, and I remember having a really good time watching that movie. It just reminded me of, like, I remember watching the Jackson 5 American Dream on ABC when I was a kid, and how exciting that was to kind of watch it on TV, the story of these people. So I remember kind of feeling like that. It was a bit nostalgic. They are the dream girls of gospel. I saw someone like wrote them as a description, like the dream girls of gospel. But it was a great success story, and I really appreciate how honest they were about their lives.
I look at it like, these women are still going at it. They haven't slowed down at all. And to look at the movie and then go back and do research on their life, it's like, wow, you have really lived a blessed life, like they say. It's very inspirational.
Oh yeah. Those women are. They sing down, like, they're incredible.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, one more. Would you ever do a mini documentary series with your family and friends?
I actually think I have some of the most hilarious family members. But I can tell you right now, my mother would never allow a camera in her home and from her doing it. Although I think my mom would be incredible reality TV. But it will never happen. Also, I'm not a reality TV guy. I like watching it, but I don't know if I'm a good. I don't know if I'll be a great producer. You got to hit up someone like Carlos King to do something like that. But I think I have a really great family, and I have some amazing friends. But all my friends, they would never allow for the real shit to be on camera.
All right,
Not
real
that it's
quick,
bad.
because we're actually running out of time before we cut off. So we're going to go ahead and end this. And we've been on the hour, so it's good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. Like, you've talked about what you want to do after this. So, yeah, we're just going to end it. Cameron, thank you so much for taking time out of your quarantine schedule
Yeah.
To talk with us. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for really chiming in. Cameron, they love you. They love you.
And you know what? And I want to thank you guys for your contribution to like Black film. Thank you. Thank you for these platforms. Thank you for these opportunities for people to talk, for people to see themselves, and looking, and reminders. You know what I mean? This means a lot to us artists who are doing this work. It means a lot that you guys are doing this. So shout out to y'all too. Absolutely, appreciate it. So everybody, if you're not following Blackcinemanow, I know you're on Cameron's page, but go over and follow Blackcinemanow. Keep updates to all the movies and TVs that we follow, we review, and everything. So again, Cameron, thank you so much. My name is Forrest Cornell, aka TC. Thank you so much for following us. You can follow me on my personal Tall TC on Instagram. Yeah, I'm getting all this in for the last 30 seconds. Yeah, do what you need to do, man. Get it out. Let them know about your services and everything.
Yeah, definitely. It's Friday night, guys. Go and have a good time. Be blessed. Remember that you're unique. Remember that God made you as a unique person. Love yourself a little more. All that jazz. Cameron, thanks again. Thank you, guys. Yeah.